Greetings, loves. Hit that like, share, subscribe, do all of the things. Do all of the things. Come in the comment section. Come over here. Hey, pop your shit if you want to. I know I do it to y'all. Well, some of you. However, I'm sitting up here. This is impromptu. I know y'all got the projectors and everything going off in the back. I'm sure I'm over here trying to get these patterns cut out, and I'm listening to I said, let me hear what they saying about this Celeste and David case, because I can only listen like maybe every other day, because y'all be on it like every hour on hour with nothing new. But you don't mind making up stuff. Now I'm listening to a lady on here. She hollering at the manager. She's really going off at the manager. And I said, well, I want to know, baby. I want to know, how is you cool? I just want to know, is you cool? Because why you yelling at the man? Okay, so she said that this dude had to have known about Celeste. Now we know all about everybody and their mama who did know about Celeste, pretty much. Right? The children, they all knew, right? The children knew. Why y'all messing with the T? Oh, that's a different video. I gotta respond to delete it on another video. Which he did a good video, by the way, but I'm just saying, y'all got some inconsistencies, some untruths, and, whatever you want to say. And then I like you got inside knowledge. You ain't got no inside knowledge of this shit. But all y'all talking about this, you didn't know either one of them before it happened. Cut the shit. Okay? Everybody who knew them might appear on somebody else's video. They might pop up and do a real quick, say this, say that, but they not sitting up here reporting like the paparazzi every hour on the hour about this story. It's y'all, the ones who didn't know this girl, who didn't know this dude. And listen, stop coming on here and capping like y'all really care about people in real life. Okay, yelling at this guy's manager ain't gonna do you no good, but it might do you some harm, because check this out. Leave that man alone. You outraged. Okay, same thing happened to Celeste is happening to girls all over the world. Every day. I guarantee that, baby. And for y'all who is saying that she was dismembered, listen, I don't care about no news station either, because they is just about as accurate as you guys are. There is not one founding that I could find, and neither could AI. And AI knows what's going on the internet. Not one speck of evidence that LAPD has officially reported that Celeste was found dismembered. Now, heavily decomposed, yes. She was in a freaking oven in one of the sunniest states. Okay, so she was cooking. Now, y'all talking about she officially wasn't preggo. Listen, for me, that could be a great motive. Okay, I don't know where he was going with this, but I clearly see things y'all don't see, or you ain't talking about, because y'all got to all be talking about the same thing, All right, so I think if the girl was pregnant, though, because, he was hiding it real good. Listen, for the guy who did the analysis, and you sitting up here doing analysis of David and a whole grown up talking about that Celeste and this, when they did this, that mean that, and she leaning into him and he leaning into her and all this other kind of stuff. That wasn't even the baby girl. It was not. And then you look at the face. I don't mean no harm to the other Celeste, baby, but I'm gonna put you in your late 20s, maybe mid 30s, even early 30s. I just think you look older than you are, but she's reportedly an adult. You should know by now that this boy was using a decoy for Celeste. Now, how many of y'all done came on here and said that that was that girl. This was that girl. At the concert was this baby girl here. And didn't know that he didn't have her out like that. Now, was he rushing her behind the curtain with him behind stage that one time that we saw? Yeah, we know that was her. But all these other times y'all talking about in the live stream, this fool came on here and he got a lot of subscribers. This guy, and y'all bigging him up in the comment section like, what y'all be doing? You watch a video and then you want to see the same thing over and over again, but just from a different person. And you don't care about the facts. Even when you learn the facts, you don't even care. You just go watch another video and they repeat the same stuff that ain't even true. And you don't say shit. Something wrong with y'all. This dude did a whole analysis on a whole grown up. Not even Celeste. Didn't even know or take time to find out about the behaviors of this dude with this girl. Why y'all reporting on this case so much and you know so little? Why? Because it's just a hot subject. That's all. A lot of y'all reporting on this, you ain't never seen nothing like this in real life. You never been through personally any of this type shit. Or you would have more respect for this baby girl. And for just in general, one of the chicks now says she has a degree in criminal justice. Okay? That's what she said. All right. So why are you yelling down on this man the way you are? Like you got him in the interrogation room. Huh? Why are you doing that? And you say, the man say he got a 14-year-old. He has a family and all that stuff. But you want to put him on blast on the internet and put pressure on this man so that the rest of the world can mess with him too. Why? Why? Because there's not enough evidence to suggest anything about anyone except for those who have revealed something about themselves. Unless there's something that is just concrete and it is few and far in between. Right? Like other people, mainly children around Celeste and David's age, knew about their relationship. That's pretty concrete. That's pretty concrete. Whomever was around him that knew about this, we don't know. But I'm gonna tell you who I was starting with. I would start with the decoys. Because who you been a decoy for? Who are you being a decoy for? Now, I still wouldn't bash the girl. I wouldn't bash the girl because we don't know what the hell David was doing. He could have told her, this is you part of my act. I want you to pretend to be so and so and such and such. Now, I know y'all gonna be like, come on, you tripping. But the possibilities remain because you have no evidence. Y'all are quick to come on this here internet and just call everybody guilty. And you don't know if they're guilty. And you don't have one personal story that can match any of the stories that you're talking about. I got some plenty. And you know what? It's finna be story time. I'm going to come on here and I'm going to tell y'all some of my stories. Okay? Horror stories, right? And get you some experience. And maybe you'll start respecting real life. Because y'all ain't got no respect. You don't care no more about Celeste, Aunt David, his little sister, his brother, his mama, or her family than you do about the next person. You don't. You be reporting on all these girls out here. Y'all digging too much into this, and you don't have no information except for what you think you coming out with, and you ain't even doing the digging. The ones doing the reporting ain't doing the ones doing the digging. They just taking what they hear and run with it. Do y'all want justice to be served for Celeste? Because look at here. At best, we can assume that this guy was messing around with this young girl as early as the age of 11. We have that as an assumption that is likely a fact. Not a proven fact just yet, but it's likely a fact. Now, she was found in the trunk of his car. That's a fact, right? Y'all say why he ain't been arrested yet. Can you stop? You gonna let that one go? Cause I mean, I don't think they did a really good job of keeping her away from him. I don't think they found that high on the priority. You know what? While we at it, I guess you kind of did back up off the parents, but just for those who still on that, leave her family alone, because you don't know. You was not a part of this story, and I don't care what youngin come out and say what. Yes, I can say youngin. I'm 49, and that's what we say back in North Kakalaka, where I'm from. Youngin. I don't care what youngin come out here and say to mama, blah, blah, blah. Bitch, where your child at that ran away with a boy that you tried to deal with? And start from there. Because until you get started, shut it all the way up. You have no idea what this family endured, what they went through, what they were told, maybe if they were threatened. Y'all saying the family was paid off. I'm not saying it's not something that's not a possibility, but damn, you don't even know if it's true. And this girl is found in the trunk of a damn Tesla, having had cooked in there. Okay? There are plenty of situations that have been happening since the beginning of time where it all stemmed from this here being something very legal and still is in a lot of states. But there have been older guys preying upon younger girls. And instead of making sure that they do not engage in anything improper with the young lady, they are ruining the young lady's lives, and a lot of times they do not make it through. Look at Aaliyah. She was 15 and that boy was 28 years old, and y'all still celebrate him. You praise him. He's the king of R&B. Listen, he ain't gonna be ever the king of anything. I don't care if goddamn that boy can sing. Who cares? He with his ugly ass. To my ugly boy. Oh, he better have been able to sing. Robert wouldn't have got no cootie cat looking like that. That's a ugly ass boy. But listen, he married Aaliyah when she was 15. Then all that other stuff that came out, and y'all don't care. And forget about, pardon me to anybody who was harmed by him, because I don't mean forget about y'all for real. What I'm saying is, we know for a fact he married Aaliyah when she was 15 years old and he was 28 years old, and y'all still to this day want to step in the name of love. Now, did he make some badass music? He did. All kind of terrible people who've done terrible things and similar things, and who have laid little girls and babies' bodies to rest, have done some great things, right? It means nothing. It means nothing. You do not praise them. Listen, I want to make my statement about the manager clear. You cannot, ma'am, come on this here internet, okay? It's not Beyonce internet as far as I'm concerned. Hell, it's my internet as far as I'm concerned. It's all our internet, but it ain't Beyonce internet. I don't know what the fuck y'all be talking about. But, and say to this man and ridicule him and put him in that position just because he was that boy's manager. And then at the same time, yell out, you got these credentials and blase whoop de whoop. Baby, I can see your performance a mile away. Okay? Again, you don't know Celeste at all, and David or nobody. And if you cared, if you really care, you be speaking on what you know are to be facts and not act like we put it out first. And I knew I said it down and out, and I got the, you got the what? Wrong information, because Let me go back and press play. Did you not state that you about to play the video that she was in, but she wasn't in? You know, the one with him sitting and look at this baby right here. That's a baby face. That's baby skin all day. Great camera, right? But that's a baby face right there. All right, when you look at the girl sitting next to him, she can put on a hoodie and sunglasses all she wants to. And again, Celeste, no problem. I mean, no offense to you, sister, but I don't know how much you knew. So honestly, I don't care about you. I'm just telling you, I'm just speaking on facts. I ain't got nothing against you, but that girl looks a little old about the face. How the hell y'all gonna look at her and say that's Celeste? Right here, Celeste. Like he was sitting openly on live stream with baby girl. Now that we passed that, because too many of y'all done came on here and pushed that narrative. Now that we are past that, can we focus on the fact that this dude called himself being strategic? Now, if you want to harbor a very young minor and conceal your grooming an affair with her for years, I don't know where he was going with this. I agree with y'all that he was seemingly obsessed with her, and she was likely his muse. Okay, and I think that he looked at that as a double, right? Okay, so he has this muse that is Celeste, but at the same time in real life, he has this muse that is Celeste. But to people who don't know, they don't know. But if you try to find out, who are you going to find? A decoy, right? For the most part, you're going to find a decoy. However, intimately, people knew, just like they say in Chicago, everybody knew about what R. Kelly was doing. McDonald's, he was at the high school, everything, right? But to the work, we didn't know all of that. Hell, now they're saying that, they did know that he was dealing with Celeste because she was what? Running away. She was running away. She was going back to him. And therefore, the family knew that she was messing with a guy named David. If he was as popular as he was, how could they not know that it was that David? What was the conversation like between the family and Celeste for them to never have met this guy that she's running away to go see? I mean, she's a baby. She was 15, 16, 17, about to be 18. Maybe. Because how far you want to get involved and risk the child being taken further away or never coming back because, Mom, you in my business and they don't want you around and that type. This is a very tricky and risky situation when y'all think you just go to the police or you go down there and drag them out. Well, if you as the daddy and you're big and bad and you got your crew, you got your guns and everything, make it a movie, baby. Do your thing. I applaud you and I support you. Go get your daughter, okay? By any means necessary, do that. But unless you rocking like that, what can you really do? Parents have less control of their children than they did back when I was young. And a lot was going on then. Too much is condoned when it comes to this type of stuff, but I don't hear y'all talking about that. But what you can see in the comment sections is plenty of girls, women who once were girls, who know that this inappropriateness was of the norm and at a bigger stretch. I'm talking about people way older than David. In the age of the internet, the way that it is now, I cannot imagine a parent trying to raise a daughter and some guy has, gotten a hold of her somehow, her mind, her conversation. They target children in all of these games and online everywhere. Anybody you would have to become just as good as them, if not better, to try and keep one up on them with your child. And you would have to pretty much keep them isolated Now, as somebody who was isolated in a cult, I'm talking about isolated. I'm talking about isolated. I'm talking about isolated from everybody, including people in the household. That's not really a good thing, right? The internet is everywhere, including in the schools. And a predator, baby, you ever know what it's like to be obsessed with something? You should listen to C.T. Fletcher more. I will share a video by him on my homepage, and he talks about obsession. Okay? That's when you're obsessed with something like bodybuilding, being obsessed. See, he's a motivational coach. He is a actual coach and all that stuff. So yeah, he talks about that kind of, he said, you gotta be obsessed. If you're a parent, take the time out and watch it. At the video, it's got to be a good 5 or 6. I was just listening to it not too long ago, because I'm out to shit. I was supposed to be doing my workout, but I got tired of old girl yelling at the dude, so I got to come say something. I ain't even finished. I'm going to get back to it in a minute. But listen, go listen to it. That's what predators are about these children. They're obsessed. You got 10 billion different things going on in your head, or maybe even 5 or 2. I don't know what you do. Work, responsibility. I gotta cook. What am I cooking tonight? They need to go pick up dinner. Car gotta go in the shop. You got 1,000 things. But they ain't thinking about none of that. They thinking about how I'm gonna get this child. How I'm gonna get this child? How I'm gonna get this child? What I gotta do? How I'm gonna get this child? Now, unless you obsessed on that kind of level, you ain't no competition. Now, they say parenting don't come with handbooks, and there are books out there, but every situation from one minute to the next can be very, very different. And there could be all types of things in this situation that nobody knows about. That does not necessarily have to include him paying off the family. Now, they showed pictures of him allegedly paying off some students, and I didn't look at the videos, but they say the kid came forward and saying, yeah, we was blackmailing him, something to that effect. I saw like 2 seconds of the boy saying that. Listen, I'm not finna go research all that. However, I do understand that it's a possibility that that's what that was. It's a strong possibility. There had to be a few smart ones out the bunch, because they was trolling him with it, that said, listen, you gonna have to pay me. Now, was the family on that type of time, or did he approach them and say, listen, I can make sure y'all good, or I can make it hell for you? We don't know. But if he approached them like that, at the end of the day, when you don't have no backup, but he got paper, okay, because y'all thought that his shit was cool. I mean, I'm not going to take nothing from him. For somebody who just wanted to make music for his games, because, I be making music too. Like, I just getting this equipment, they sending it to me. I'm just like, oh, no, let me see. Oh, okay. All right, David, I might take your spot. I might, because my shit don't. And I'm very versatile. So emo, grunge, I'm all gore, all that. I do all that. Listen, they said she had his name tattooed on her finger. I got David all across my chest. You know why? Because that's my father's name. But I'm just saying. Hopefully his career is over at minimum, because we do know that he was harboring this young girl. What happened to her? That part we don't know. People saying, why wasn't he arrested? I feel like he did it. Well, you could feel good today, feel bad later, cry, sad, happy, all kind of things, but your feelings don't matter. Your feelings don't matter. Your intuitions, your thoughts, or anything about these strangers on the internet that you don't know jack shit about, and you're not an official investigator on the case. It does not matter. Y'all come on here, say and do too much. When you got these content, anybody can sit up here and do a video every day. And even if you're not popping, if you want your video to hit, just keep talking about it every day like they doing. One of them gonna do something. You're gonna get some kind of numbers. It's gonna help you. more than it's gonna hurt you. So anybody can do that. But y'all look like uneducated fools to me. Like, you really be showing yourself when something like this goes off on the internet, and y'all just keep making videos every day back to back. Y'all starting to act like this is the Diddy case all over again. You know, things that come, people stay on like white on rice, and then all of a sudden, don't nobody talk about it no more. Are y'all gonna stick this one out? Well, one way you can do is by staying out of it. Because what more is there that y'all can talk about? Let's be honest. I mean, for him to be, y'all, listen, y'all say this guy homeschool, blah, 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 that puts him at a disadvantage. Any situation can have its disadvantages, but don't be knocking on homeschool like that. Don't do that. I mean, he can be sitting up in a school where, one of them YT boys come in there mad at their dad or whatever the heck going on, and they start spraying. I don't know. But usually people who are homeschooled are well-rounded. Somebody say he was bored because he, homeschool. What the hell? Usually, most parents want control over their children's world schooling, homeschooling, their education. That's why they do it. And then 9 times out of 10, they got the money because somebody got to be home with them to homeschool them. That means they ain't really working. You can run a business, but, usually you're in some of everything, okay? And speaking from experience, I'm talking about ballet, piano, all kind of stuff that most people don't know about, and they want to give you the academic advantage. So, they're really stepping it up there. So it ain't necessarily boredom. It could be some other things, but it ain't necessarily boredom. What I can say just from my experience, right, and just looking at it from that kind of insight, I could say he had a Christian family and he was homeschooled, and I'm pretty sure they had a tight grip on him, right? And he became immersed in an alternate reality. He found gore, okay, maybe through being online, playing Fortnite or what have you, and he felt like he wanted to, dive in that because it's like forbidden fruit. His song goes viral, and of course he gonna jump on that, okay? And so then he becomes of this world. He becomes this character, and like he said himself, he specifically takes in gore content so that he can remain in this headspace. Now, that tells me that this is somebody who had to take himself there. He had to train himself to be there. He had to put himself to be there, right? Just like if you were trying to make a certain cut for a show, you got to put yourself there because you ain't there. You got to create a whole different animal. You got to take on habits and lose habits that you probably ain't never done before. And so you have to create that person who is capable of making the cut to be able to get up there on stage in that competition. I'm talking about bodybuilding, and that takes a lot. And that's what I heard listening to him say that. And that tells me that really wasn't who he was, but it is who he became, right? Which I just don't know which could be worse, but I guess either one could be really, really bad. It really could, because maybe this guy did not know how far he should go with this. Maybe he did not know. Maybe he thought that this could make him infamous. I'm not suggesting that's a good theory or the truth. I'm just saying it's a possibility to think about. But it's also possible that he actually did not do this. It's also possible that he did not authorize this. It's also possible that he didn't even know about this until the police found her in there and said, hey, we found this girl in your car, boy. And that's when he found out. It's possible he was on tour, his first tour, right? Okay, of course, he made the decision to not take her with him, which Outside of this happening, I would say it's a wise decision. It was highly likely that people were going to see them together without a shadow of a doubt, and it can't be just a small, intimate, selective crew who's gonna say, "Oh, I thought she was 19 and she was in college," which I'm not saying that they're lying. That's probably what they thought. She probably seemed pretty quiet, pretty mature, even though I look at her, I see baby, like preteen. She looks preteen to me. However, in that setting, they're all kids. What do they know? You know, and when they're young, they're all young. What do they know about really determining in that type of setting? So maybe they did really think she was 19, especially if she's living with this guy, hanging out with him, possibly even driving his car. Is that why it's didn't? Was she driving it that day that she went to this alleged, did they say liquor store that the sister went to see the surveillance? Did they sell toilet paper there? I mean, because why was she there? It's because 19 is not 21. Is it different? The rules different in California? You can drink at 19. You can purchase alcohol at 19 years old in California. I don't think so. So what was she doing at the liquor store? I mean, she passed other stores, I'm sure, to get, because that one, y'all ain't questioning out. Y'all said the dude that runs the store confirmed that the sister came over to see the surveillance. You showed the little video. You say Celeste is walking. Sister say that's her getting in the car. Who was it? We don't know who's in the car. We don't know she was driving the car. But y'all seem to know she was at that liquor store. And the guy who said she was at the liquor store, can you call him out before you mess with the damn manager? The dude said she was at the liquor store. Why you gonna call out somebody who said he didn't know her? The guy said he saw her and he identified her and said that that's the car she got in. Damn, was he watching her? Like, why would you be paying attention to where your customers went to the parking lot and got in the car at? What kind of conversation was she came to buy some Henny and you said, see, I know you come in here, blah, 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 but I can't sell this to you without your ID. You're going to have to go, he not supposed to say it, but go get your friend. I mean, I don't know why. Why did he know what car she got into? Y'all don't want to know? Very interesting. But I'm coming back because this video been long enough and I know y'all don't listen to videos long like that. And we going to talk about the teacher. We going to talk about some other things too. Because listen, I'm sick of y'all. I'm just sick of y'all and you're saying the same thing over and over. But ask that man, what was her visit for? Because we got a 14-year-old, okay, possibly driving a whole Tesla. Living with a guy who's in his 20s and visiting a liquor store as if she has some business to tend to at that store. And that's the last place that she was seen walking around alive. And y'all ain't asking that man what was she doing in his liquor store. But you want to question down the manager and try to hold him out. Okay, first of all, that man, according to what you read, put out a statement that says he does a lot of his management online. He is not there with David. He doesn't tour with him. He's not around him like that. He's not around a lot of his clients. He doesn't even live in California. He is remote. Of course, he is going to get a house for his, I don't know David's, I don't know if he's rich, but yeah, he sure was popular, right? On his way, he was opening for SZA. Now he's headlining. Okay. Yeah. Of course, he's going to get him a house. This guy is not getting a house, a mansion in his name to be responsible for it. It's just not happening. Okay. So, yes, this is very common. Very common. Now, as far as why he moved out so quickly, I don't know. Did you want him to wait another week, a month? Which one would have made you feel better had they waited before they moved out? I'm sorry, but this is a homicide. They can move that night if they want to. And y'all gonna have something to say about it, but me, as far as I look at the way I look at the end of the day, I expect them to move how they feel like they need to move. It's a homicide. Look at the shit y'all be saying online. Okay, y'all said the girl passed away in the house. Sloan. I watched Sloan video. Sometimes I want to. Okay, I watch Sloan video, and half the time I'd be like, boy, why is you even talking about this? Because y'all don't be knowing jack about what you be talking about. You just be, oh, this the hot topic. Okay, boom. And you just jump on it and you scrape up everything you see online, and that's it. Now, Sloan doesn't know about decomposition, but he's making theories about that. You don't make no theories when you don't even understand how that works. That not everyday shit you be doing. It's not cute, boo-boo. It's not cute. I don't know how what is it, decomposition works, and I don't want to know. But if she was, if her body would have been, couldn't he be able to tell? And is that how it works? Shut up! You too grown to be talking like that. That shit ain't cute. You don't know about it, so just I can't speculate either way because I have no idea how decomposition. You don't necessarily have to know how decomposition works. Talk about the case, but when you do all that, it's like I want to kind of slap you. You know what I'm saying? But come on, the shit y'all be saying. The shit y'all be saying. Like the shit y'all be saying. I could go on and on. You know what I don't appreciate probably the most is you guys sitting up here saying, David should be arrested and, just saying he's guilty and all this kind of stuff. Bitch, where you getting that from? Just like you coming at the manager. If that man is telling you that he don't even be there, he's not around David. He's his manager, but he's not his freaking handler, hands-on with him every day. He doesn't know the ins and outs of his shit. And we can clearly see that David is calling himself being strategic, which to some degree, you gotta admit, this didn't raise your suspicion at all. None of y'all didn't find any more curiosity in the fact that he was using decoys like that. I get it. She's an underage girl, so having an adult that looks like her, it's not that simple. There's more to it. We're talking about a whole different world than most people, or what people would consider normal. Okay, we're talking about a gore world. Y'all are sitting on this internet talking about, oh, his lyrics. He really talked about what happened. He gonna talk about what happened because he has it's gore music. That's what happens, and people get all kind of words that we're not supposed to say on YouTube. But all that stuff that he was saying, and the way he was putting it on, like it splatter all over him and shit like that. That's what happens in gore music, gore content. It's like a slasher movie, you know what I'm saying? It's like your darkest shit. So all that stuff he's saying and all that stuff he's doing, that is definitely gore. So it's to be expected. Now, what I can respect from some of you adults, allegedly, that have been out here making videos for a while, and you pretty popping. But see, that's what's wrong with the general public. It's like you like somebody and then you just like them and you just overlook all that other stuff. Why y'all on here talking about his music, his lyrics, and did he just say the exact same thing as what happened and blah 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 and all this? Listen, you're doing too much with the lyrics, because why didn't you just do your research? Because you gotta ask yourself, why is he making music? Y'all didn't ask yourself, why is he even making music like this? Boy, where did this come from? What kind of is this a genre? Is it a category? Like, who gets popular of talking like this and doing all this in your videos? This is not a one-off. This guy's whole content is of this nature. and people like it. So that this is a whole thing. Oh, let me go look. Oh, it's fucking gore. Yeah, that's what it is. Does it mean that there's no connection between the things he said and did in his songs and his videos and what may have happened to Celeste? Quite possibly. But it's still the basis of his music. So the music would have been the music either way, whether it was a real life incident or not. Now, wait a minute though, because just because he sang all that, said all that, did all that, doesn't mean that he actually wanted to do it in real life and ruin his dang on career right as he's getting started. Now, could he be that dumb? I mean, he messing with a kid. He was messing with a whole baby. She was 11 freaking years old. So a sick mind is a sick mind. He coulda. However, somebody else who knew or did not know of him or her could have done it and put her in there. It could have been a coincidence. I don't know. Maybe they seen her in a Tesla, kind of knew she was young. Maybe she was driving. Maybe they was like, okay, she ain't really. Maybe they thought she had some money on her and find out she didn't. But to actually put her in the front and have the car parked in the parking lot, was she attacked in the parking lot? Like, where did this happen? I don't know. It seems like it wasn't no sudden or random attack and there was more thought into it. So that does kind of lean back to it being David himself or somebody he knew or somebody who knew them. How many people could have possibly known that this guy was going on tour? Oh, a whole lot. All his fans in there. You know, he's just got a lot of fans. So they knew he was going on his first tour. Did they know he was bringing Celeste? Because a lot of these guys who hung out with them in these chats and things knew he was dating Celeste. Now, did they know he was not going to bring her on that tour? Probably. The questions that no one is asking, I'm going to ask them and I'm going to let y'all be and I'm going to come back. But I better see some intelligence in the comment section. Now the manager. Just because he is David's manager does not make him an accomplice to literally anything. Yes, it does sound like if we don't have, a best friend, that we can point out, the manager would likely be the closest one to his situation. However, still, this boy is technically an adult. So I'm pretty sure if he's harboring a young child, he's gonna know that there's a slim chance that other whole grown adults, especially those with children that are around her age, are gonna want to be cool with that. So he probably tried to handle a lot of things himself. So it is likely that the manager did not know about this situation. Do you think the manager was looking at the cameras every day? I ain't gonna lie. If it was my mansion that I'm renting, knowing I ultimately would be responsible for whatever happens there, and you're getting probably paid pretty good, but not necessarily what David would be getting paid, you're gonna have to cover anything that goes down. Would I be checking in on the cameras at least? I don't know how often you, because the footage builds up. Somebody had to be maintaining it. When you think about how your cameras work, you got a storage. If you go back and check your cameras, you can go directly to the date and the time frame that you are looking for, or you can skim through and get caught up on the last week that you missed or something like that. So how long would you go without skimming over your There's got to be one appointed person that is responsible for surveillance security, because if you just run your security thinking you're going to catch an alert or you're gonna catch everything that you missed unless you got AI saying, "Hey, boo boo, listen here. They can't just jump through your window and ate out your tuna bowl and jump back out. You never know that happened, right? Because we can miss stuff. You can miss that your landlord came through today. Because what? You probably ignore a lot of your alerts. So somebody got to be responsible for rotating the tapes. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. So was he looking in on David's cameras? We don't know. We don't know. Did he have access, or did he only give that to David to respect his privacy? I don't know. But if I was a whole adult, let's say my age, or even in my 30s, and I got a young first time with all this money and fame guy here who I am manager for, and I probably don't even know like that. It's not like I knew him knee high from a grasshopper, and it doesn't even matter anyway, because now he rich and famous, and I'm renting a mansion for him. And if he mess up, my career's over with too. Baby, let me tell you something. I ain't gonna be all in his business, but you know, yeah. So, however, Doom probably was like, I'm minding my business. I don't care. I don't know. I don't know. But what the man said is what the man said at this point. Unless the police are going to thoroughly investigate this guy and say, hey, you're the manager. You probably, you had this access, that, blah, blah. It's no need to put him in that position. You'd be surprised what people on the internet will do to people and their families and all that. Don't do that. That's not responsible. The internet has really laxed a lot of you guys way too much. And y'all do this time and time again when something happens. When someone is taken from here, that is very damn serious. Mind as much of your business as you can. Just try and do that. You can do a video without doing all that extra stuff, but be thoughtful, okay? Be thoughtful while you're sowing your seeds of what you are saying. Be thoughtful of what you're saying. Y'all don't got no info on nobody, and you're not gonna get none. And you're not going to sit up here and say she was or was not pregnant, because you don't freaking know. The police is not going to give out that information anyway. It is part of an investigation. If they are going to charge somebody, which they are hoping to charge, somebody did it. They got to be able to take that to court and say, you did this, you did that, and then you did that, and that's how we are here. They not even saying if she was, how do you say? What can I say, YouTube, since we can't talk like we whole grown adults? But they don't even say if she was violated. So y'all gonna come on here and act like they told y'all whether or not she was preggers or not, when that literally could be part of a motive. And they have not said, why didn't they say she was not violated? Because what are some reasons why somebody would mess with a girl and then off her? Because they probably took something from her that, belongs to her. Now, what if somebody else was watching? Now, David is scum, and not because his music is music. I mean, some of it sound pretty decent. Some of it sound pretty decent. I ain't for him all his looks and anything like that. But I mean, I don't get into young guys, so I just really can't. He actually seems corny to me, I ain't gonna lie. But some of his music does sound good. Now, we know some of that is technology, but him coming on camera singing, unless he did some shit with his vocals in the background, which we all know he can, but it seems legit that he actually has a voice. Somebody could have been watching and knew that he was not going to take her. If people were allegedly trolling them online about this, blackmailing him about this, then why would they not otherwise interfere? Yes, including any group of people that could have been jealous of him or her. Hell, all possibilities are on the table. Her family knew she was with him. She knew that's where, they knew that's where she was going. Now, do I want to mess with the family? No, but everybody's listen, the cops have not even labeled anyone a suspect, which tells me that they are really digging into this shit, because off top, the closest person to you is a suspect off top. Now, this is very complex, and I think they're playing it very well, because he was the closest person to her, Rodney, but she was a minor though. He was trying to hide that. That's why I'm telling y'all, it is highly likely that there was a lot this guy was doing. Did it involve other people? Starting with the other Celeste, but I don't see y'all coming for her now. She free game. She just is. She free game. I think that this story, once it is revealed, if it is solved, it's just gonna have some twists and turns in it that are just as sick as his music, as some people look at it. I mean, gore, grunge, emo, and other categories. I mean, I'm for all that. So yeah, I don't see it the same way. The problem I have is the fact that this happened to someone close to him in real life, but not with the music per se. So, there's that. However, when y'all looking at the music, it's freaking gore music. You know that. You know how to educate yourself. Or why are you doing videos then? So establish that it's gore. It's supposed to sound like that. And yes, you can point out similarities, but quit acting like he made a whole damn career of a certain type of music and lyrics and videos just to go around his sick fantasies about having a little girl and then doing the things that he was singing about to the little girl. Just stop it. Just stop it. All right, stop it. I like you got some kind of sense. All right, and ask that girl, why did she take on the role as a decoy, or shall I say stunt double? Because when you have someone in the balcony of one of your concerts that looks very, very similar to the young underage girl that you are currently dating and semi-living with, and you have this woman standing here, and you are drawing attention to said woman because you keep going over there and waving, and was he blowing? What y'all say he was doing? He was smiling and all that kind of thing. He was singing gore music, but he was smiling. Okay, cool. So he was bringing the attention to her. But it was not Celeste, but it looked like Celeste. Was it the other Celeste? It could have been another stunt double. I believe there was more than one. Hey, just in case the other wasn't present, or maybe something else. He could have had more than one person who looked like Celeste, who was not Celeste, to fill in different spots due to his imagination. Because listen, he did not have to show any of that, but I do find it quite clever, yes, clever, that he had a decoy. And if you guys think that that was just as simple as that, I'm pretty sure you're wrong. Let me tell you what I'm saying. I do not think that he just got another woman named Celeste that looks like Celeste to, let's say, be in the video, to look like the main girl, right? Show up on the live stream, show up at the concert. What would be the reason if most of the public did not know Celeste existed? What would be the reason for him sitting down and doing a live stream with someone who the majority of the people who were in the live stream would have known that that wasn't even baby girl? And then what would be the reason for him having someone who looks like Celeste to be in the balcony and him constantly bringing attention to it? Okay. No artist is going to put too much attention on any one person ever for any reason. Okay. What was up with that? What we gotta treat him like an artist, right? Because I mean that's what he became, an artist. So they're always thinking, always creating, and if his genre is gore, and that's what he pretty much eats and sleeps, gore. What was the storyline here that he was creating? Now you can use the music because now you have somewhere to go with it. Now you have a reason to incorporate the music. First, you respect it and you understand that it is gore and it is supposed to be just like that. Then you start to look at all these other questions that have no answers, and we need a lot of answers. Okay, what happened to Celeste? How did she end up in the trunk of the car? How long was she in the car? Now, that part you might as well not even mess with, because unless you are the detectives on the case, you do not have proper information. They good luck to them. I mean, she was basically in an oven. That's going to mess it up regardless of how long she was there, whether it was even a day. That is going to extremely speed up decomposition, which is also going to inhibit the amount of forensic evidence that they're able to obtain all together. You know, so that is just sad. But leave it to them. That's their job. What else do you have? What was David doing? What was his storyline here that he was creating? What is this reality that he was creating, and why? What was his plans with Celeste? Now, starting out allegedly when she's 11, that's really young. Okay, she's 14 now. She almost made it to 15. That's a few years. That's damn near for almost 5 years. That's a while. So was he planning on really staying with her? Was he planning on being with her when she was 18? How was he dealing with the family? Because although we don't have any definitive evidence in that department, I'm pretty sure the family tried to stop. Nobody wants their baby girl running off with no dude at 11 years old. And I think that they just did not get the attention and recognition. I'm pretty sure there's another student or two who told somebody who maybe even went to the police. I think the police just didn't jive with it because they knew she was literally running to him. And they probably was like, what we're going to do, go over there and be like, you got to go back home. Which they can catch her, they can bring her home, and it was said that that was done, but she's going to turn around and she's going to go back. And they don't really even deal with stuff like that much. They just don't. So, through it all, he had the upper hand, no matter his age, no matter anything. He had the upper hand. He is a hot thing smoking. Has the money. He has the influence. People are going to look for him, to want to be cool with him. You idolize him. He make the music that really make you feel some kind of way. You got people who, you know, he can become their bread and butter, and he can use his bread and butter to, you know, make things shake over there. So the sky is really the limit. If there was a message from David to Celeste when she said, my parents won't let me, and he says, I'll handle it, I'll take care of it. Don't take that to necessarily mean he was paying off the parents. We don't know enough about their situation. There are so many other possibilities that could have been if he's going to say he'll take care of it. It doesn't necessarily mean he was paying anybody off, or it could have been a distant relative, or I don't know. It could have been some threats. It could have been, you know, he is the power player here. So anything he wanted to create, he could create. And let's not assume we knew anything about their relationship. I think anyone in this genre, whether you like it, you listen to it here and there, you partake of it, it engulfs you, you engulf it, it's your whole life. Regardless of your levels, you do understand that you're not of what people would consider as normal. Okay, I'm not normal. I'm a whole mutant. To keep it real with you, that's a whole nother conversation. But I'm not gonna sit up here and act like, oh, I'm a normal person and I know that I'm into shit like this, right? So you think with him being all a gore, did they had a healthy relationship? Now, how healthy can he have of a relationship with an 11-year-old anyway? So we don't even know what the hell was going on. We don't even know what that dynamic was like. But you know one thing that does bother me? This is what bothers me. It bothers me that as Celeste was supposed to be his muse, and although this is gore, the subject matter of which he would speak about her, that bothered me. That bothered me. It bothered me. Because it seems as though he was obsessed with Killinging her. And, you know, we for some reason can't say that word. Like, can we protest that shit? That was his subject surrounding her and everything that I've heard so far. No other scenario existed. Why does that bother me? Because anybody knows that it could have been, he could have sang about all kind of different avenues of their relationship. He could have obsessed over her, literally leaving him. But that's not the kind of leaving he talks about. He is specific on the fact that she is leaving or left because he made that happen on a permanent basis. That was pretty much his entire storyline. And I'm not saying I listened to his whole discography and from beginning to end, but I heard enough to get the gist that I don't hear much about anything else going on. That is what gives me my first moment's pause on this guy. And including the fact that she could have been pregnant. That would have never flied. Did he have money to where someone could come in and handle it? Of course. In the industry, that is an easy take. So I'm not really hard pressed on her being pregnant. Too many people that will happily mind their business could have came in. Now, did he have the connections? I think so. Being somewhat new in the industry, I think so. And we're going to talk about that in another video because this will be way too long. But my thing is, again, what happened to Celeste? How did someone get a hold of her to do what they did to her, and we don't even know what that is? We don't even know what that is. But I'm thinking it was a harsh unaliving, because why is she in the front? Why wasn't she just left where she was? Why wasn't she just tossed somewhere? Either that was very brilliant and strategic thinking on someone's part. Maybe this happened before he left, right as he was leaving. Maybe he was counting on her baking in that car by the time they found him, and him being on tour would be an alibi. Could it have been a neighbor? One neighbor said he was asking him about his car. I don't know about y'all, but unless you chatty patty from next door, you don't mind your business. If it's a dent, it's a dent. If I'm going to get it fixed, I'm going to get it fixed. Clearly, it's my car. Clearly, I live here. So, clearly, I got this. I'm a whole grown-ass man. You asking me why I ain't got my car fixed, nigga? Is you prying for information? Like, why you asking? That just don't sound like something somebody would ask. Now, if it's your boy, hey man, when you gonna get your car fixed? That shit been denting up for a minute. Every time I come over here, it's dented up. Girl, you got another dent in it. Man, you been letting your girl drive. Man, okay. But when you gonna get it fixed though? I can see that. But a stranger you don't know, that you don't talk to, and they say you keep to yourself. I found that possibly suspect, or maybe just interesting, because hey, he saw them. What y'all say he said? Going to the store here and there, coming back, thought they were just a little couple. Okay, so, boo-boo, did you not know that he was gone and she would come and go without him? Yeah? Because he sound nosy, don't he? Listen, you fellas, if your neighbor who you don't kick it with come and ask you about getting your car fixed, do you know he nosy, right? Okay, you know he nosy. All right, and if he can say he see them come and go, he can see her come and go without him, and know their patterns enough to know, okay, day 1, she by herself. Day 2, she by herself. Oh, he's out of town. Because 9 times out of 10, he's going to be going out with who? Her. She's going to be going out with, David when he's there. I mean, she's a runaway. She's a little girl. I'm pretty sure he'd be going with her. So, does he have a babysitter? I know, y'all. But, I mean, she's a kid. So, a chaperone? Does she have a bodyguard? I mean, how do y'all want to say it? Is there somebody there that he pays that she knows is there, or maybe don't know? Does he pay somebody to watch her? Where are they? Did they show up? They would be a prime witness, right? Of course. I think that's some pretty good ingredients right there. I'm not saying that, you got all you need, but I think you can get that grease hot so we can start cooking with Crisco. Yeah, I do. I think we can go somewhere with this now. Instead of all that jiggy jaggy booty waggy y'all talking about, because they ain't talking about that. Huh? Nah, they ain't talking about that. Oh, yeah. Y'all ain't talking about that. Now let's talk about something. We want to talk about this thing. Let's talk about it. All right, everything I said, let me get some answers in the chat. I don't care. You can answer me with your own video. We can go back and forth with this thing. I still got another creator I need to respond to. And it's going to be a separate video because I want to be clear in my response. And listen, I'm not really bashing. I think the guy did a good video. Always watch his videos. But I know. And see, my thing is, I really don't care how none of y'all feel, to be honest with you, because ain't none of you Celeste, right? Or even her family. And somebody passed away in this situation. So, at the end of the day, that's what this is about. It ain't about all the other shit. So, at the end of the day, though, who was there with Celeste when David was out of town, she was there by herself? Tell me in the comment section if you think that Celeste was there by herself when David went on trial. Mind you, tour. This is his first tour. Do you think he left her completely by herself? How long have they been in that mansion? It doesn't even matter. Celeste is still a child and someone who he is trying to not let everybody know, hey, this is a child. And what if she got scared in the house by herself one night and said, I want my mommy, and try to go home? Anything. Was there someone there watching her to keep her there, even if forcefully? Would that likely be a thing? I think it would. I don't think, based upon what I have heard so far, that she would 100%. I don't know how long he was going to be on tour. I don't know if he would ever be flying back home for a night or two. But I don't think that she would have stayed in the house by herself, for one. It's a freaking mansion. You ain't doing it. I ain't doing it. Stop playing. She ain't doing it. Are you 100% left alone? I'm talking about unbothered by anyone. No. Are people who make videos 100% left alone? No. People who are popular, who does music and is on their first tour, are they being left alone? Hell no. It's all kind of crazy shit going on behind the scenes. And that stuff, it happens a lot to us. Imagine what's happening to him. Not to mention, a lot of people know about Celeste. So you know they messing with him, right? It's already stories out there that he was being blackmailed and they were trying to tell on him and they were messing with him in the chat. Now, with that being said, how many people do you think were also messing with Celeste? I'm sorry, but if you're looking at people with good intentions, they would just say, oh, we don't want you to be hurt. He's too old for you. Just go home to your mommy. Do you think those are the only type of people that were messing with her? No. Could there have been somebody in camp? Yes. Could there have been somebody who was a little too invested, a little too obsessed? Yes. Could it have been somebody who knew that David was not there? Yes, that could have been a lot of people, including, yes, that freaking neighbor or another neighbor or somebody the neighbor told. We don't even know if that dude really did not see that she was extremely... She don't look... Listen, guys, this girl from the picture don't look the same age as David to me. She don't. And he looks young. He looks like he could go for 15, 16 sometime. You know? And she don't even look to be around that age to me. It's different when you're looking at it as a whole adult about to be 50 years old now. You can't just look at it from your perspective. Real grown ones that been here for a while, they know a baby when they see a baby. And David is not the only one with a sickness. He is not the only one. So it's all kind of stuff that could have happened to this young lady. And I do hope that they get down to the bottom of it. But I believe that there are some twists and turns in this story that are unreal. Do I think that he wanted to get rid of her? I don't, because I think he would lose a lot of creativity. I think that he was obsessed with her, like people are saying. I mean, everything points to that. Literally. And you take on liking Hello Kitty because come on, Hello Kitty is for girls. Like, bro, what else was you into? Because that right there tells me, that was not a good position for her to be in, not at all. And I do hope that at the very least, the family is going to pursue justice against him for, everything that he's put her through, including holding him responsible, because they have a civil suit regardless. I mean, they could really hold him responsible for her passing. I think he gonna have any money left. I would do it now. I would do it now. I mean, I would really go after him civilly now, because you had her. You had her. And you insisted that she be with you. And upon doing so, she ended up here. So when you went on tour, who did you leave home with the child? Because that was a child. Like, who would you leave with your baby sister? If your mama told you to watch your baby sister, who would you leave with your baby sister? What would you do with your baby sister when you went on tour? Same thing here. Same thing here. So how did this young lady end up how she did? Either way it go, David is at fault. But who did this to her?